healthcare environment the necessity of respect, skill, compassion, and evidence-based practice that are central to the occupational therapy profession and are hallmarks of our university's mission. Occupational therapy, the profession you have all chosen to ultimately step into, is one which was committed to the concept of whole person healthcare very early on. OTs have attended to the physical, psychological, emotional, social, and cultural issues that are influenced by environment from a very early stage, and perhaps more than most health professions. OTs can be found in nearly every healthcare setting: schools, homeless shelters, correctional reintegration centers, substance abuse centers, hospitals, outpatient facilities, places of work, places of leisure, and skilled nursing facilities. Your profession is everywhere. I was reminded recently by all of the avenues in which OTs improve daily lives through enabling function, increasing access to services, improving social integration, enabling adaptation to balanced lifestyles, and recognizing the familial and cultural environments of individuals and communities. For the duration of your time with us and beyond, continue to evaluate emerging information critically. Think through the new and creative practice opportunities in your profession. Take the time to fully immerse yourself in your clinical experience, your capstone projects, and there's an echo, but that's okay. And most importantly, celebrate milestones like today with pride. Stay connected to those who encourage you when you are feeling discouraged. Stay balanced, rested, healthy, and reach out to your faculty, your chair, Dr. Gupta, and myself when you need to. Be the best you can be each and every day, but be kind to yourself and take care of yourself during this next period. Congratulations once again.
At this point, I would like to invite our keynote speaker, Dr. Wendy Hildenbrand. A short bio of Dr. Hildenbrand. She's a clinical assistant professor in the Occupational Therapy Education Department at the University of Kansas Medical Center. She earned her bachelor's degree in occupational therapy in 1989, the Master of Public Health in 2002, and her Doctor of Philosophy in Public Administration in 2016, all from the University of Kansas. Dr. Hildenbrand's practice area includes work in mental health, school-based practice, population, and community health. Professional expertise includes leadership, policy development and implementation, advocacy, and building bridges between policy and practice. Her dissertation research examined the experience of role conflict in frontline occupational therapy professionals when implementing policies such as productivity requirements and working to maintain professional values such as client-centered practice. Presently, Dr. Hildenbrand commits leadership service nationally as president of the flagship American Occupational Therapy Association, and she will be the president till June of 2022. Previously, she served the occupational therapy profession and AOTA as director on the board of directors from 2014 to 2017, and an appointed board-level committee service focused on healthcare reform and occupational therapy in prevention and wellness. Prior to this, she led other leaders as speaker of the AOTA's representative assembly and as vice chair for the committee of the State Association President's Steering Committee. In her home state, Dr. Hildenbrand is recognized by the occupational therapy community as an active member and committed servant leader within the Kansas Occupational Therapy Association. She has also served as the president of the Kansas Occupational Therapy Association. She resides in Kansas City, Missouri, near family and friends, and strives to achieve occupational balance. Dr. Hildenbrand, the stage is yours.
Hello there, Dr. Gupta. And thank you for that. Always seems strange to hear yourself being introduced, but thank you for that introduction. It's a reminder of of a lot of years of investment in occupational therapy, much like yourself. And so I'm excited to be here with you this evening, here, so that I can share a few words with you during this white coat ceremony. It is interesting that Dr. Gupta was able to point out that I do live in Kansas City. Kansas is home for many years, but Missouri is also the place where I've lived for quite some time. And as I was preparing to join you all this evening and becoming a little more familiar with A.T. Still University, your flagship, it seems like, is right here in my backyard in Kirksville, Missouri. So I found it very interesting to read about Andrew Taylor Still and his search for more comprehensive and more compassionate and certainly more whole person focused healthcare way back before it was cool or popular. So I think that you all are positioned very well to follow those footsteps. So what an exciting time. So I do say hello. I am Wendy Hildenbrand, the president of the American Occupational Therapy Association. And thank you very much for that welcome and invitation to be part of your white coat ceremony honoring the OTD class of 2023. So I do hope that this finds you well and in a mood for celebration. How could you not be? As you take another ceremonial step toward actualizing your goal of earning your entry-level Doctor of Occupational Therapy degree from the A.T. Still University, Arizona School of Health Sciences. A very exciting and proud day for your faculty, for your family and your friends, and for each one of you. You're doing it. You're there. And you're ready to embark on new things even still, the next things. And so congratulations to you this evening. I know this is a white coat ceremony that might not, in some ways, be as you had anticipated when you thought about big goals and celebration opportunities as a young person. But here we are in a format that's becoming more and more familiar, making adjustments and being able to bring people together in person, even if not in full, to be part of this event. So again, I'm very excited to be here virtually with you. You participated in your academic preparation and maybe even some of your experiential learning activities in a very different way. I am certain your faculty have continued to prepare you through instructional methods that they might not have considered before. We're all doing it differently, a period of time that's very different for each one of us. But we have all adapted, we have changed, and we have grown. So your outstanding faculty are thrilled to be with you today, as am I, and to be a part of your professional journey, your professional development from student to occupational therapist, as we honor your ongoing transformation through this challenging and rewarding shared journey. The celebration's in the air, but I am also aware that there might be some uncertainty in your minds, along with the excitement as you enter this next phase of your program and career preparation amid an ongoing pandemic, in ongoing calls for systemic change to support equity and justice, and just a challenging overall time in our political environments and economic areas. I encourage you to embrace the uncertainty as opportunity for you, for your profession, for your community, and for the people we serve through occupational therapy. I support you in considering the possibilities as you think about how you might step into your new career. It's a little bit away, but not too far, right? And when you do, I hope that you will look around and recognize your family, your friends, your faculty, your supporters, as they continue to be there for you as you embrace opportunities for your professional career. Some things to think about, opportunities to think about that might be waiting for you down the road. Opportunities to work with people living with chronic conditions, including those affected by COVID-19. There are many people that are now living with pre-existing conditions that we didn't even know about 2 years ago. They need occupational therapy. They might need you. There will also be opportunities to demonstrate our full scope of practice when working with children and youth in changed learning environments and experiences new to children, youth, their teachers, their parents. As occupational therapy professionals, we can address developmental, challenges, learning gaps, and we can support and encourage positive mental health while working with anxious kids and anxious adults in schools and communities. We have opportunities to address the universal, and I do mean universal, mental health crisis that is upon us. We have opportunities to change the inadequate focus on and funding for mental illness treatment and services. We have opportunities to support and lift up the critical link between mental health and physical health. They're connected. You heard Dean Birch speaking very nicely about those links, about those ways in which occupational therapy can rise to this challenge. That's who we are. We also have opportunities to recognize and support individuals and populations that have experienced trauma, such that it impedes engagement in fulfilling roles and meaningful daily life activities. We've all experienced trauma as of late. It looks different for some of us, but we have all been navigating a very traumatic time. There'll be opportunities for you to support the goals of our healthy aging population and also address the needs of people being cared for within our elder care systems, skilled nursing facilities, long-term care facilities. We have opportunities across that continuum of aging. There are opportunities to solidify and advance occupational therapy through telehealth service delivery, through home health entry. Big changes happening in those areas, big opportunities. These are advances that came to us through policy changes during the public health emergency declarations that were put in place to address health needs during, many times of restrictions. But we need to solidify and secure those. We've done so in home health entry kinds of policy, but we need to continue working to secure that in telehealth. So there's your advocacy charge, right? Make sure that you are still focused on the ways in which we can extend access to quality occupational therapy services. And then opportunities to be innovative in your thinking and doing when looking around you at your communities and outside of your community, your own community, to society at large. I happen to know that your program and your department chair are very focused on community health. They are very focused on population-based healthcare. And so I know that your training and your philosophical understanding of how health matters and how we can be a part of solutions in places where health is not actualized, you will see yourself as a player in those places. I see you as a player in all of those places. And so I'm very encouraged by the opportunities that are ahead of you because of your training and your commitment there at AT Still. And don't forget, there's also opportunities in places that, have been around for some time. Occupational therapy in hospitals, in clinics, in schools, even you as a fieldwork educator down the road, don't forget that. So you will have opportunities for sure. Occupational therapy is and will continue to be needed as healthcare and healthcare needs change and in addressing health equity issues. If we've learned anything over the course of the pandemic and the associated restrictions, people have come to realize the indisputable power of occupation, our roles, routines, habits, rituals, all the things that matter, make us who we are, and do indeed ground us in healthy places. Occupation matters. We matter. We are essential. That means that you're essential. So I do hope that you recognize that very, very clearly. And as you prepare for your next steps to become an occupational therapist, you do not lose sight of the rich experiences you've gained while navigating unknowns in your occupational therapy program, on your fieldworks to come, even in your own personal lives. You've adapted, you've learned, and you've mastered your entry-level clinical practice skills. You're getting there, right? And those questions, those competencies, they are helping you get solid footing. They're also going to challenge you to think big, think differently as you continue your journey. A couple things I want to say about your white coat ceremony. This is a big day. This is a very big day, isn't it? It's a time of transition for you, a time of transformation for occupational therapy. And the white coat ceremony is kind of part of that. So I want to just say a couple things, if I could, about where we're at right here in this moment. You know, the white coat ceremony is understood as a rite of passage, typically for medical students as they enter the medical profession. This is a 100-year tradition, right? But they're entering into a medical profession and establishing themselves within the medical community and culture. So for you, what does that mean for you? The OTD class of 2023. I want you to consider what this rite of passage means for you as an occupational therapy student. First of all, do you recognize when you look around that room, when you think about your support systems, do you recognize the support that surrounds you in this passage? How lucky are you to have the faculty that you have? How lucky are you to be, situated in a community that supports and helps bring you up in this profession? How lucky are you to have the institutional support of your university there? And your family, your friends, they're there for you. So that's exciting. At this point in time, this is a rite of passage that they are doing with you. And so, recognize that. Say thank you. Let them be part of this rite of passage in a meaningful way. Do you also, during this time, this white coat ceremony, do you sense a need for humility, perhaps, as you realize that the white coat is really not a super cape? Rather, it serves as a symbol of responsibility to serve others well. Sometimes people put on that white coat and it takes a different meaning. Sometimes it's not the best meaning. Might make you feel like you've got it all figured out, that you have all the answers, that you are the expert in someone else's life, when in fact the people we serve are the experts in their own lives, correct? So that need for humility as you put on your white coat this evening, that's an important one to keep square in your thinking, so that you recognize the responsibility and embrace that well. Embrace that very well as you commit to serve others. Do you recognize how this white coat might be perceived and received by others? Some people view it as the authority. Some people view it as power. Some people view it as status and access. Some people view it as a barrier. That will be something for you to think through, okay? As you wear your white coat, as you embrace that responsibility and honor there, what does it say to other people? And is that what you want it to say? Make sure you're clear about that. Does the white coat leave you feeling empowered? Maybe. Or does it leave you feeling encumbered? As you think about, we can draw on Dr. Seuss, right? Oh, the places you will go as an occupational therapist. Some of the places you'll go as an occupational therapist, a white coat matters. But there's going to be places that you go as an occupational therapist, particularly entering into these places with the mindset of a certificate in public health, with a degree from your program that is grounded in all things occupation. There might be times when that white coat maybe holds you back in places where you enter. It might not mean the same in community practice. It might not mean the same in a public school setting or an early intervention environment. So, I ask you to keep that in mind. Does that white coat leave you feeling empowered? or does it leave you feeling encumbered? Both are okay. You just have to navigate that and identify how do you want to enter in and make a difference. Okay. So I say those things not to be discouraging or naysayery. This is a celebration time, but I do point those things out to remind you that the white coat is one part of your journey. It's one part of your symbolism. It is one part of who you are as an occupational therapy professional. So do not be afraid to create your own rite of passage, create your own path, walk your own path as an occupational therapy professional. You need to make your own way and you need to pick your own coat, whatever the color. For being part of this class of 2023 cohort, it says so much about you collectively and individually. So as developing professionals and the next generation of our profession and society, I want you to know that I see you, and I see you as committed, I see you as courageous, and I see you as ready to be part of change that is moving society and shaping the future of our profession. It is a time of transition for you, and most definitely a time of transition for occupational therapy. And I welcome you as my professional colleagues, and I'm very excited about the many ways that you will enrich our occupational therapy profession. So to sum it up, I'm proud of each one of you. I offer an enthusiastic cheers and congratulations to all as you accept your white coat. To the family and friends that are there to support you or in this Zoom room, your students are not done. They're not done yet. So keep encouraging. Keep that encouragement coming. Celebrate big with those close to you in whatever celebratory manner is allowed. And take good care. Stay very well, everybody. Have a great night.
Thank you, Dr. Hildenbrand. We feel very privileged that you were able to join us this evening, although via Zoom. Thank God for technology because you're able to join us this way. So look for some tiny package that's coming your way in the mail as a token of our deep appreciation for all that you have done for the profession and will continue to do. Thank you again.
Thank you very much.
So before we transition to the coating ceremony, I would like to thank all the OT faculty and staff who initiated the white coat ceremony. And among the staff members, in particular, Melissa Eisenman, Amber Kumo, and Tammy Laughlin for all the work they did in the background. And special thanks to David Lopez, who is our IT person extraordinaire. And two faculty are being singled out for doing so much of the background work to assist me to put this ceremony together. Trust me, there is a lot of background work. And that's Professor Jones and Dr. Fulwider. At this time, I also invite the faculty who are seated on the stage to join me in donning of the white coats. And we'll start with Dr. Wolf. Aaron Arndt. Kat Bauer. Delina Ballon. Mackenzie Crawford. Ashley DeCastro. Yvette Duarte. Angela Edelbrock. Samantha Guess. Travis Hong. Melody Roops. Liana Miller. Sierra Mose. Jackie Morrison. Ali Signus. Leah Skaftgard. Basic patient care. Hee-Won Yoon. At this time, I would like to request all the occupational therapy faculty to stand up and invite Dr. Wolf to come and administer the OT pledge.
Reverently and earnestly, do I pledge my wholehearted service to enhancing the participation and social inclusion of individuals, families, groups, and vulnerable populations across the lifespan. To this end, that my work may be successful, I will ever strive for greater knowledge, skill, and understanding in the discharge of my duties in whatsoever position I may find myself. Congratulations.
You may all be seated. I invite Dean Boyd to come and give us some concluding remarks so that we can end this ceremony. Thank you all for being here today.
Hello, all. I wanted to say hello from Dr. Norman Gevitz, who's the Senior Vice President of Academic Affairs. He was going to join you tonight, which is a big honor, and he was delayed. He's a historian, and he loves to give the history of each of the professions and has asked me to give his words to all of you. So hang on before you start celebrating, and these words are from Dr. Norman Gevitz. Just pretend. The roots of the occupational therapy profession in the United States began at the dawn of the 20th century with the introduction and utilization of non-drug-based therapeutics in helping mentally ill individuals cope with their condition to perform the routine activities or occupations of daily living. The first training program began in Chicago at Hull House and the National Society for the Promotion of Occupational Therapy, later renamed AOTA, was founded in 1917. The breadth and scope of occupational therapy quickly increased with the treatment of World War I veterans for both physical and mental disablement, and soon after included children and later the elderly, who because of strokes or other catastrophic events needed rehabilitation. In 1922, the distinguished psychiatrist Adolf Meyer articulated 4 aspects of the philosophy and aims of occupational therapy. 1, an active interaction with the environment maintains and balances the individual. 2, the mind and body works in unison, and this link must be studied and appreciated. 3, natural rhythms have a positive effect on well-being and human performance. And 4, there is a need for balance in all spheres of occupation. These principles of occupational therapy are remarkably consonant with the philosophy of osteopathic medicine as enunciated by Andrew Taylor Still and his followers, and reflect the set of beliefs which today guides the mission of our university. The education of occupational therapists has steadily evolved. In 1923, AOTA adopted a 12-month course of training. In 1930, the total training time was 18 months. And in the 1940s, registered occupational therapists were required to have the bachelor's degree. And in 1990, the standard was changed to a master's degree level. Though the master's degree continues to represent the minimum educational requirement for entering practice, as of 2021, there are 54 institutions who offer the Doctor of Occupational Therapy as the single or dual program of entry into the OT profession. This white coat ceremony marks your passage to becoming a new type of occupational therapist, a doctor of occupational therapy, with more training in the art and science of your field, where upon graduation, you will become the thought and practice leaders in your profession. And from Dr. Gevitz, congratulations to all of you.
Thank you once again for being here. And if I might request that the families stay seated so that the procession can lead out of the room. And then we have the photographers around so you can have your pictures taken. Thank you.